Yuki and John, patriarch.
Hello, Yuki.
Hello, John.
Remember that saying, your mother sews socks in hell?
What?
You ever heard that saying?
No.
Well, that's because it's the saying from the TV edited version of The Exorcist, because there's the famous line where it says, your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Oh, they can't say that in TV, so they changed it?
They changed it to your mother sews socks in hell. Which I think is kind of worse than sucking cocks. Because, like, at least with sucking cocks, you can eventually have some fun and enjoy the cock sucking. But who enjoys sewing socks? Nobody.
Nobody.
That's a worse hell than the cock sucking. You're sitting there for all eternity just sewing socks?
If it's dirty.
And it's dirty.
Right? You don't want to even touch in dirty socks.
No, but well, cocks could be dirty too. Because if you're in hell sucking a cock, most likely it's either the devil's cock or a demon's cock. So those ain't clean. Unless demons take pride in their cock cleanliness.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, right. They wash it. They put the they would probably lava. Dip their cocks in lava. So maybe the cock sucking won't be good because it'll burn your mouth in hell.
Yeah. Maybe, it's heat, so, all the virus or germ would die, right?
Oh, that's good. So it is cleaner. Yeah.
It's cleaner.
It clean your mouth. What is that called? Antiseptics? No, what is it called when the fire... I'm totally spacing on the word. When you put fire up to something and it cleans it, or
right, just like when you
sterilize.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! All right, well, we're talking about The Exorcist today.
Exorcist, yes.
The movie The Exorcist,
yes.
Not the Pope's Exorcist with goddamn the guy from fucking Gladiator.
Russell, no, not Crowe.
Yeah, Russell Crowe. He just came out with the Pope's Exorcist.
Right,
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen that. That's a different from Exorcist movie.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Yeah, come on.
Most Exorcist movies or most demonic possession movies can't even hold a candle to The Exorcist, right? Well, most horror movies can't.
Right.
Because The Exorcist is such a visceral, insane experience. At least in my opinion. What do you think about The Exorcist just in general?
I mean... The two things, again, I'm not really religious. So
right.
The movie Exorcist is just a movie Exorcist. And then real world exorcism and in Catholic, that's a different story because, I can't relate to that since I don't believe Catholic. So
do you think, to just get off topic slightly already, an exorcism in the real world, do you think that that's just a person's mind playing tricks on them and they think that they're possessed, so they go to all these lengths to play out this act that they have a demon in them, and then the exorcism is sort of theater?
It's a brainwash, I think.
Brainwash.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think that there's something there. I think it's a little more than brainwash. I think that sometimes there are seeds of things in people's head, and we barely even understand our own brains, let alone what might happen when somebody breaks with reality and thinks that they're possessed with a demon. So an exorcism, yeah, I guess you're right. That's a good way to put it. A brainwash or a brain cleansing,
right?
So to speak, using the power of the Bible and God.
Right.
Yeah.
And, again, it goes to, religious people, hey, you have to believe this. Otherwise, bad things are going to happen to you.
Right.
Or bad things happen to you because you don't believe this, and that kind of, so may not be really nothing to do with movie Exorcist.
Right, yeah. I was raised Catholic.
Okay.
And I went to an all-boys Catholic school for high school. Before that, I was just in grammar school, regular schools. But The Exorcist hit me hard as a kid. It really scared the living shit out of me really badly. And we'll get into some of the stories about how that fucked my life up for a while.
Well, I don't want to be negative about, Catholic or Christian or people who believe that. I'm not saying, it's just, I don't believe that. It's just, that's how I was raised. Most of people raised in Japan, there is the Buddhism in Japan.
Yeah.
It's just there. It's a custom.
Right.
So that doesn't mean we all believe, So it's just
Right.
a custom. So it's there. That was my background.
So to jump into the movie The Exorcist, do you remember when it came out?
Oh yeah, I was a kid. I was like, I don't know, 9, 10 years old, and then I went to see it, and then before, the movie opened the United States first, then came to Japan, right? Oh my God, people were, pass out in the movie theater. There is a riot in the movie theater, blah, blah, blah. Lots of information came. They just went to see it. Nothing happened in Japanese movie theater.
People in Japan, they just stared at the screen stone-faced and walked out and said, "Pussy Americans."
Well, it's just it's a nationality, or that's the way Japanese, because we can really. I can't speak for entire nation, but we automatically distinguish between TV show, real world, movie, real world. It's separate, so it's not like, oh my God, lots of violence in the movie. That's not good. The kids gonna kill people. We don't think that way.
Yeah. Right.
It's like no matter Daddy Harry killed 100 people in the movie screen. It's nothing to do with real life in Japan.
Right,
See?
right.
So there is no violence code or anything. It's like, oh, this show is too violent. There is no such a thing in Japan.
Right.
Because movie world and real world, we don't connect.
Sure. You know what's entertainment and you know what's real, and you don't really have
so
a crossover.
when I came here, the people always talking about, oh my God, it's no good, too violence, too sexy or too erotic, and that's nothing to do with in our life. But I was surprised because that's why it's like a rating PG or rating R. It's too because I was fine, since we can't kill people in real life. It's fun to watch Rambo or Dirty Harry killing 100 people.
Right.
They're doing it for us. So we think that way instead of, oh my God, he's killing, maybe I should get the gun, kill people. We don't think that way.
No, it's cathartic to watch somebody else do it so you don't have to do it in your real life. Yeah. So with The Exorcist, when you saw it, though, did you think it was a good movie, well made?
Well, I never thought that was a good movie. But
no? You don't like The Exorcist as a movie?
No, I like it. But
I like
it, but I never thought that was a good movie. It's like a good, entertaining movie.
So you don't think it's a masterpiece or anything as far as the heart?
Well, no, if if as a movie, I thought it was same Friedkin. I thought The French Connection is a better movie than Exorcist.
Interesting. A lot of people think that way, but a lot of people don't think that way. Some people think that The Exorcist is the greatest horror movie ever made. Other people think it's just, kind of kid stuff.
Because my opinion is, French Connection, it's real life. Right? I mean, and then
based on a true story,
right? It's real life, based on the real story. So it's maybe part of our real life.
Yeah.
I may not relate to it, but same story happening somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But The Exorcist, I mean, come on, demon that, living in some girls, like, I don't believe that. That's why it's separate. Like, okay, just to watch it as an entertainment movie. So that's why I never thought that was a good movie. Because in my mind, oh, come on, it's a bullshit. That never happens in real life. But
you didn't find some of the imagery disturbing? I mean, there's... So something I thought was interesting was I was kind of reading comments and some discussion about The Exorcist, and people were saying, oh, this movie's so tame by today's standards. And in my head, I'm going, tame by today's standards? There's a young girl, adolescent girl, stabbing a crucifix into her pussy, saying, let Jesus fuck you. And that's tame? How is that tame? That's like one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen in a film. It's insane. How is that tame?
Well, I wouldn't say it's tame.
Okay,
but
you wouldn't say it's tame, but there's fucking people online who was like, oh, it's like a PG rated. these people are fucked in the head.
That was disgusting. But who does that? I mean,
A deranged human being who thinks there's a demon in them. Because I think that there's a psychological... Okay, so one of the scariest parts of the whole Exorcist, to me, and disturbing, and makes you... is when she's getting all the medical procedures done. And she's in the doctors, they don't know what they're doing. They're doing the tests, and she's writhing about on the tables, and there's all these lights and shit.
That was more realistic to me. Like, let's say, it doesn't have to be demon, it isn't... I mean, it's like, okay, you're sick. You go to hospital, you exam, doctor can find what's wrong with this person.
That's scary.
That's scary.
Yeah.
So that part is like a more realistic, scary part. But because of the demon, then come on.
So, one little interesting tidbit is in that scene, one of the assistants at the hospital is an actual killer. He's a murderer. I don't know if he's a serial killer. He might be a serial killer, but yeah, he's in the movie and he went on to murder people, and that makes the scene even more fucked up because there's a real murderer in the scene acting.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he's one of the lab assistants,
Oh,
technicians.
really?
Yeah. So there are a lot of people who say that the movie was cursed behind the scenes and stuff.
Right.
I don't really know. I mean, there's cursed films. Linda Blair kind of said, "No, it wasn't that, cursed. It was just things happened and that's it." I don't believe in that sort of thing, but I do think that there is something, not demonic, but something evil in that movie, in the way that it manipulates your feelings and senses and gets you all worked up.
I think it's it's an evil thing. Or I see more the father Karas, his relationship and his mother.
Yeah.
That's more kind of guilt.
Oh yeah.
Instead of that Regan is.
Well, that's also another scary thing. A man who of the cloth, a priest, losing his faith.
Right.
And kind of disappointing his mother. The whole thing is like really dark and fucked up, and the guy can't. He's struggling with his own existence. He doesn't know what to do, and then this thing falls into his lap. And even in the face of this pure evil, he's struggling to believe in God.
See, that's what the my understanding. Okay, that's punishment. That's why he dies, and then Regan.
Oh, interesting.
Survived.
Interesting. So he redeems himself, but he also is perished because of his sins. That's an interesting reading of the. I mean, that's probably is what it's all about.
But see, that's what. Then maybe the leading character is the Regan, but. Maybe that's just a part of the frame of the whole picture. Whole picture is about the Karas.
I would say he's the main character more than the girl. And well, Ellen Bernstein is probably the main character. Then Father Karras, Jason Miller, by the way, and then Regan is sort of like the supporting, even though she's the main crux of the thing. Jason Miller, interesting. There was another actor cast. I forgot the actor's name. But Friedkin wanted Jason Miller so bad that he almost shut the whole picture down. I think it was Stacy Keach. You know Stacy Keach? I think that the studio wanted Stacy Keach, and Friedkin fought for Jason Miller because Jason Miller was just a stage actor, barely known.
Oh my God! But the Jason Miller was perfect.
He was incredible in that movie. So some interesting things about Jason Miller. Liz Shack, our producer and my beloved, became a little interested in Jason Miller to like explore more. He's the father of Jason Patrick from the Lost Boys. Remember him?
Yeah.
He was. He's also the father of that weird kid from Near Dark and Teen Witch and a bunch of other 80s movies. I'm gonna look his name up. Seriously, it's so weird that he's these guys' parents, right? And then on top of that, I think Jackie Gleason was Jason Miller's father-in-law.
Really?
Yeah, so he's related to the Honeymooners.
Oh my God.
When you hear all this shit that all this stuff is related, it's fucking so weird. Like Hollywood, man,
Yeah, but I mean, he was so good and he was scary. And then there's one shot. He and the demon is just
so good,
so
right?
good, yeah.
Yeah, all that subliminal stuff in this movie, it gets me going. Because I don't even remember when I was a kid, but that demon face when it flashes.
Right, flash.
Shit. Nobody had ever seen anything like that in the movies.
And then the other shocking scene was when Regan's neck goes around 360.
Yeah.
That was like a really shock to me. Like, holy shit.
Really? You got shocked?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. So the guy's name is Joshua John Miller from Teen Witch, Near Dark, River's Edge. That's right.
Oh my god, River's Edge.
So
Which
good.
one? Original one, the remake?
The one with Keanu Reeves.
Oh, okay.
But he looks much more normal now. When he was a kid, he looked like freaky, but he looks kind of like a normal guy. He looks like Jason Miller now. So yeah, that's an interesting connection. So back to The Exorcist. Let me tell you a little bit about my experience when I was a kid, because it ruined my life.
What do you mean ruin your life?
So I was in 4th grade or something, maybe 4th grade going into 5th or 3rd grade going into 4th, one of those. No, I think it was 4th grade going into 5th grade, so I was probably 10 or so. And it was the first summer that I ever hung out in a group, boys and girls. There were boys and there were girls, and everybody had crushes on each other, and it was a whole thing, but we would all hang out during the day and play games and sports. It wasn't anything...
Wait a minute, you said 9 or 10?
9 or 10.
Then I said the 9 or 10. No, that can be. I should be older. Maybe high school.
So it's the 50th anniversary now of The Exorcist in 2024, so it came out in 1974.
Oh, then I was a high school kid.
You were a high school.
Okay, I was wrong.
But I mean, I'm talking about I was in the 80s
Okay.
As a kid, maybe late 80s. First time boys and girls, kind of flirting, but, kids, so we're not doing anything. And somebody said, oh, let's watch a movie today. Let's watch a scary movie. And I suggested, oh, let's watch Freddy Krueger or whatever.
Right.
And somebody's like, no, let's watch The Exorcist. I heard it's really fucked up and scary, really scary. And my father had warned me about this movie back a few months earlier, because I was listening to King Diamond. Do you know who King Diamond is?
No.
He's a heavy metal guy, and he wears the makeup on his face, and he sings really high like that. But he sings about occult stuff like ghosts and witches. And one day, me and my friend Eric McCormick were sitting in, I want to say his real name, me and my friend Eric were in my bedroom listening to that music, and my dad knocked on the door. He's like, can I talk to you guys for a minute? And he said, I hear the music that you're listening to, and there's a lot of weird stuff in it, and I just want to talk to you about evil and the devil and make sure that you're not getting into any weird stuff. And he gave us this sort of speech about, the devil. And then he mentioned The Exorcist. He said there's a movie called The Exorcist, and it's one of the most scary movies I've ever seen. And there are faces in that movie that I can't get out of my head to this day. And of course, that made us want to watch the movie even more. We were like, oh yeah, let's watch this crazy movie. But so that day when somebody suggested it, I kind of had second thoughts because of what my father said. Like, it's too scary. We watched it. I didn't sleep for the rest of the summer. I'm talking 6 weeks. And the worst part of it was not only did I not sleep, I was crying half the night. I kept asking my parents if I could sleep in their room. And at first, for a week or so, they accepted, okay, you can stay in here, but you got to get over it. Couldn't get over it. So I slept.
But what part was so...
The whole thing. I thought that the fucking devil was coming to get me. I thought that the devil was going to possess me in my sleep and shake my bed and fucking twist my head around and make me puke green shit out of my fucking mouth. I was so convinced that demonic possession was possible. Because again, you got the Catholic thing. My father's saying the devil's fucking fucked up. It was just a whole convergence of all this shit. And to see, then the thing that really got me in that movie, the first thing was when they put the hermaphrodite thing on the statue, when it has the tits and the penis, the statue of Mary. In my young head, I'm like, who the fuck would ever do something like that to a religious statue? It was the devil. And then as the movie progressed, I was more fucked up that this could actually happen.
Oh my God! Wow.
So I had to sleep in my brother's room for fucking 5 weeks, and then one night I was crying.
Wow!
crying, like, oh, thinking about the devil. And my mother had had enough. So she came in the middle of the night and she grabbed me and she put me in my room and she said, "It's too late. The devil is already in you. He's in you." And then she closed my door and I sat there just thinking, like, if the devil's already in me and it's too late, then why am I losing sleep over this shit? Let me see if I could try to go to sleep. And I went to sleep and I never had a problem again.
Wow.
But I was young. I was like 9, and this thing was really fucking with me. And it took a psychological trick by my mother to say, it's too late. The devil is in you. And what she meant by that was, like, in the Catholic faith, essentially you start out with the mortal sin. Man, so to speak, starts out already a sinner. So the only way that we can be redeemed in the eyes of God is if we do good in this life and continue on. But we start from a negative in the Catholic preaching. So I said, if I already started with a sin, it's not my fault. So if I could just hang out and listen to music and be cool and watch movies and shit, I'll be fine. And that's what happened. I moved on.
God, that's interesting.
But throughout the rest of my life, there are residual effects of this fucked up movie. And thank you, William Friedkin, for doing this to me. But the face of Regan in some of those scenes where she's like, ah, if I'm in a dark place, not mentally, but in a physically dark place, have to go to a basement to change a fuse box or something, all I'm thinking about is that fucking devil bitch is behind me about to jump out and fuck me up. No matter what, I just am like, the devil is here and it's Regan and she's coming to get me. And I have to think okay, it's just a movie. Don't worry. You're fine.
Right.
But it really fucked me up for a while.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, flash forward to this very year. Liz Shack, our producer, she wanted to watch The Exorcist, and it was really late at night.
Right.
And I was like, I don't think I want to watch this movie. Can we just watch something else, anything, Freddy Krueger, I'm trying. And she's like, no, I really, William Friedkin, because it's the 50th anniversary, and before we knew it was coming back to theaters. So we're watching it. She fucking fell asleep. And she left me in the dark with the goddamn fucking devil. And I just was sitting there I gotta watch the rest of this movie, but I can't turn it on. I don't know what to do. I'm fucking freaking out. She's sleeping. This motherfucker left me with the devil.
So you saw it by yourself?
And I watched it by myself, and I got to the end, and I said, I'm never watching this motherfucking movie ever again. But guess what? October 1st, I'm going to see it in theaters.
Right? Is that you're talking about the revival or a new one?
Well,
Believer?
I don't know. No. I'm not going to see The Believer in theaters. Hell no. If it comes on video or streaming and something, and I'm bored, and I'll watch it. But I'm not going to the theater for that. No.
Really? I heard Ellen Burstyn is in it.
She is. And she, you know why she's in it? Because she made a deal. She's like, I'll do this movie if you pay for this acting school that I want to start. So they basically gave her a lot of money to start some sort of a program for actors. Yeah. So she's good for her. And that's the thing. I like that. But did you see the trailer?
No, I haven't. What? It looks like a shit?
It just doesn't look good. It's I don't know. I didn't dislike the people who do it are the Blumhouse guys and David Gordon Green, who just did the last 3 Halloween movies. I liked certain aspects of the new Halloween movies, and I hated certain aspects of the new Halloween movies, and I feel like the new Exorcist movies are going to be very much the same. It's going to be like, oh, I like this part of it, but this part's fucking garbage. So, I don't know. I'm just going to wait until it's on streaming.
So, since Friedkin is gone, then he wasn't really involved, right? Not even producer.
Well, somebody made a stupid joke online that said William Friedkin died when he saw the trailer of the new Exorcist.
Oh my God, that bad, huh?
It was so bad that it killed him.
It killed him.
Yeah. No, I don't know if he was ever even involved at all. I do know that they're re-releasing the old Exorcist in honor of the 50th anniversary in theaters for 2 days or something like that. Okay. And I don't know if it's the revamped version, because there's the original theatrical version, and then there was the redo version.
Redo, right? That when Regan was
Spider walk.
Right, spider walk,
Yeah.
coming down from the upstairs.
Yeah.
That wasn't there in the first one.
No, and they had to
was-
finish that because
right.
they had, in the early 2000s, they had better special effects. They were able to make it look
Right.
better. And it's a cool scene, but it's, I don't know. It didn't really add that much that it was that major of a
Right.
deal. It was just that one scene, essentially.
Yeah.
That I can remember. But yeah, so I'm going to go see The Exorcist on October 1st, and it's my retirement party from The Exorcist. I am never watching that motherfucking movie again. I don't care who's forcing me to watch it. And don't get me wrong, I think it's a great movie. I really do think it's a masterpiece in horror to the point where it fucks me up in real life, and I don't want that anymore. I want to leave it behind.
Okay, there's a book, right? But according to Peter Benchley,
No, William
No,
Peter
William
Blatty.
Peter-
Peter
William
Benchley's
Peter Bench-
Jaws.
oh, Jaws, okay.
William Peter Blatty is...
it's based on true story, right?
Yeah, some boy
Yeah.
who had some demonic possession stuff. And yeah, he based it on a true story. William Peter Blatty, did you ever read that book or the sequel, Legion?
I read it, and then that was I think I saw movie first, then read the book.
And then read the book. I read Legion many years later. Legion is a great book. And it takes the idea of The Exorcist and brings it out and opens it wide, in my opinion, about demonic possession, but how it can affect normal people and how it can affect lots of people, not just one singular case,
Right.
who sort of explains certain serial killers and things like that. And I really love Exorcist 3. Did you ever see Exorcist 3?
No,
With
that the George C. Scott?
Yeah. You didn't see it?
No, I saw it, but I don't know.
You didn't
I mean,
like it?
2, 3, then there's another one, right?
There's like 4
Well-
others. So Exorcist has a weird sequence of movies. So Exorcist 2 is John Borman. Great
Oh,
director.
that's right.
Deliverance, Zardoz.
Right.
He did a lot of cool movies. But Exorcist 2, there's something lacking to it. And I don't know what it is when I watch it. Great sequences, beautiful photography,
Right.
interesting stuff. But as a whole, it doesn't come together.
I don't even remember. I remember the Linda Blair was in it, but
She's in it, and there's a new priest, and it's just the whole thing. They're like trying to extract her memories,
Yeah.
and all this stuff, and hypnosis and things, and I don't know. And Linda Blair wouldn't put the makeup on again, so it's just her. I don't know. It's an interesting failure. But it's not as bad as people say, in my opinion. I kind of liked it when I watched it.
you like 3 better?
3, I think, is really good because George C. Scott is always good, and if he's an angry, curmudgeonly cop who's on the hunt for a serial
I
killer,
don't remember really.
yeah, he's like, I'm George C. Scott, I'm fucking, that kind of shit. I love that, but then it gets into the interesting thing where the demon sort of hops into regular people and tries to kill people. It's got that one of the greatest scares in all of horror history, where the thing comes out behind the nurse and tries to. And
So is that the standout story, or it's related to part 1, part 2?
Exorcist 3 is not loosely, but based on the book Legion, which is the book sequel to The Exorcist. So it is a sequel, but it's a whole other story because it doesn't really have to do with Regan.
Peter Blatty wrote that book too?
William Peter Blatty wrote the book, and not only that, he directed part 3.
He directed the part 3?
Yeah, he directed part 3. And it's a well-directed, nicely paced, great horror movie, police procedural sort of thing. And the things that are out of place is the stuff that the studio forced upon him, like the exorcism scene. He didn't want an exorcism scene. He just wanted it to be sort of a cop movie with the demon as the backdrop.
I see.
Yeah. And it's sort of about like how Pazuzu can get around and infest different people and stuff. Jason Miller's in it for a little while. He's
in it as
in
what?
it. He sort of comes in and out because Brad Dourif, the voice of Chucky,
Right.
he plays this sort of psychopath who's in a hospital that has information about the demon. And then as George C. Scott is talking to it, he kind of morphs into Jason Miller and starts to trick
So
him.
if he's in it, can't be really part 3 then, because he already died as a.
But he's bringing him back as an illusion. You know how in Exorcist the demon could do illusions and stuff and show you things that aren't there and trick your mind? That's what he does to George C. Scott. Because somehow George C. Scott links the thing to the Regan stuff, and yeah. It's very complicated, but it works.
God, I have to see it again then. I don't remember at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like it. And then it goes on to be even weirder. The next versions were 2 different movies directed by 2 different people.
One is Paul Schrader,
Paul
right?
Schrader. So I guess the studio didn't like his version, and they ordered it to be completely reshot by a guy named Rennie Harlan, who's the director of Die Hard 2, Cutthroat Island. So he made a more commercial version. I saw them both, and I don't remember anything about them.
Okay.
Did you ever see them?
I see both, but I don't remember at all.
Yeah, they're so forgettable. I don't even know if they're worth revisiting. But it's sad because I think under the right circumstances, Paul Schrader could have made a really interesting Exorcist movie.
Maybe he's too sophisticated for the Exorcist.
Perhaps they should have just let him go.
Yeah.
And if it's a big, interesting failure, whatever. It's a tax write-off for the studio. Who gives a fuck, you know?
So these are all connected from first one, but the Exorcist Pope is nothing to do with
No,
this.
the Pope's Exorcist they just use the word Exorcist to get your attention and go, oh, is it part of the Exorcist? And then it's like, no, it's Russell Crowe.
And then this Believer, new one is related this time.
Yeah, so Ellen Bernstein's obviously going to tie in and all that stuff. And it's going to be, what do they call those? Legacy sequels? Where they bring back the characters from the original, but there's new characters who take the story forward.
Is she playing same or different?
Ellen Bernstein's playing the same character.
Same, the mother is older now?
Yeah.
But there is no Linda Blair, though, right?
Well, in the trailer, they show a picture of Linda Blair.
It's a young Linda Blair or old Linda Blair?
No, young Linda Blair.
Oh.
So I don't know if Linda Blair's still alive, if she's dead, if she's deranged. Who knows? They're probably keeping that a secret. But there's one part where the new girl, there's 2 girls who get possessed in this one. And one of the girls, Ellen Bernstein's in the room, and she goes, I've dealt with you before. And the demon goes, Mother. You know, like that. So it's kind of, you know.
Is it in the old trailer?
Yeah, it's in the trailer.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet. So.
Yeah, go watch the trailer. It fluctuates. One scene looks great, and then the next scene looks like shit, and then the next scene looks great, and then the next scene, because there's a part where, you know, that weird demon voice that people do. So the reason why the original Exorcist is so interesting and scary with the voice is because they used a real old woman who would drink whiskey and eat fucking raw eggs to make her voice like that. And then she just dubbed over Linda Blair's voice. In this, they have like one scene like that in the trailer, but then there's another scene where it's the Evil Dead voice. You know the Evil Dead voice where they do the tritone, where it's the regular voice, the middle voice, and then the deep voice, and then they combine the 3 together. It's hard to describe, but if you've seen Evil Dead, you know the voice. It works in the Evil Dead universe. It doesn't work in the Exorcist universe, in my opinion, because it should be that old woman's, that shit. Your mother sucks cocks in hell. Your mother sews socks in hell. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know, Yuki. Are you going to see it?
I'm going to see it, yeah.
In theaters?
Yeah.
What, are you out of your mind?
Why not?
Did you like the new Halloweens?
I never seen new Halloween. I stopped watching it maybe after Halloween 3.
Oh, so you didn't even watch the new Halloween?
No.
You're talking Season of the Witch.
Yeah, old.
With the masks.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So you haven't seen one since 1983.
I mean, that's the same thing. Like what was that? Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, then I'm done. I mean, just they keep going. Like Nightmare on Elm Street, and the 1, 2, 3, I'm done. I mean, how many they have to make?
Yeah, they got to make them forever so that they can make money, right? They just want to make money. But, I guess with The Exorcist, you could have a lot of different stories because there's different demons.
Yeah.
There's different types of demons. You have Bazuzu, you have Jeruzu, Bazuzu, Kakuzu, Daduzu. They're all with the zoos at the end. Yeah.
Oh.
Flabuzu, Habuzu,
I don't know.
Shamuzu. Shamuzu is the one with he was in SeaWorld for a while. Shamuzu.
Oh, that's Shamu. Yeah.
If you get possessed by the killer whale, it's shooting shit out the back of your neck like a blowhole. That's where the pea soup comes from. The back of your neck like a blowhole. Yeah, that's the piece that that's the famous thing, the pea soup. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, that the green stuff then. That's green
pea soup. Do you ever you like pea soup?
No, I don't, because that's one thing. I can't drink green pea soup because of
because of The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Oh, so it did affect your life. It got you a little. It got you fucked up. Did you know that Linda Blair made love and had an affair with Rick James?
Who's Rick James?
You know the guy Super Freak? Super Freak, she's super freak, y'all. You don't remember Rick James? I thought you were into disco and shit. He did Super Freak. He did what's the other song? Mary Jane. He did She's Alright.
Oh, yes, I know that.
It's the same. It's Super Freak.
Oh, okay. Well, so
he had in the 70s, he had the leather pants with the braids, and he would play the bass guitar, and he would dance around. You remember him?
I don't remember him, but I remember that song.
Okay. Well, there's a famous picture of Linda Blair and him together in bed, naked.
Oh, well, Linda Blair was kind of screw up girls before even Exorcist, I hear. Like, she was teenager.
Like much like Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
She had a wild childhood.
And then I remember I was watching a documentary that Friedkin was talking about when he interviewed Linda Blair. Friedkin asked Linda Blair, like, do you know what the masturbation is? Oh my God, Linda Blair took off and then start talking about the masturbation.
Oh my God.
She was like a 12 or 13.
My Lord. And Freakin's just sitting there going,
right,
what did I get myself into?
Shit, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So maybe when she was that young, she may not be a virgin already.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, she went to the Super Freak, that's for sure.
Maybe that's why it worked, She played that,
She gives a great performance in that movie.
Right.
Let's be honest. She starts out really innocent, and to do all those crazy things that she has to do.
I think she was nominated for the.
That's right.
Oscar, yeah.
And I don't agree with this. People, after that happened, and then they found out that the demon voice was another woman.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to say that Linda Blair didn't do a great job and that she didn't deserve the Oscar. I completely disagree with that. She deserved every fucking accolade that she got. And Liz Shack has something. What's?
Hey, that was her first role, though.
Yeah.
She was never
incredible performance.
Yeah.
Tatum O'Neal won for Paper Moon against Linda Blair. Who do you think did better and deserved the Oscar?
Linda Blair.
Well, no, Tatum O'Neal.
Agree to disagree, Yuki.
My understanding is okay. Tatum O'Neal, she really played the character. It's like a simple story. And then Linda Blair in Exorcist, I thought more special effect and technique part of it.
She's thrashing around. She's going nuts. She's got to cry. She's got to laugh. She's got to demon it up. She's got to fucking flip around. That's a fucking physical performance.
I know physical, but still, she had a lot of
what did Tatum O'Neal have to do? Go, Dad? Give me a break.
I thought that she, when I saw it, she.
Nah, I'm just joking. I love Tatum. I love Paper Moon. I think it's a great, great movie. But I would personally give it to Linda Blair because she scared the shit out of me for my entire life. And Tatum O'Neal is just, no, she didn't scare me.
But that movie isn't about the scary thing. That was, she did her job, and then I thought that
She
was
did her
great.
job. No, look, I agree. That's weird that two young women were up against each other at the same exact time. That's an odd. That's almost like a goocher. You know what a goocher is? When you flip the nickels and they all come up heads. That's scary. That's like not supposed to happen. What do you think about William Friedkin in general? Just because you mentioned the French Connection, but there's a lot of other movies he did.
Right, I like him. Yeah.
You like him? You like his movies? Sorcerer. We're about to go see Sorcerer in 70mm tonight.
Right.
Me, you, and Liz Shack.
Yes.
At the Paris Theater.
The Paris Theater, they show great movie, huh? It's all revival, or they bring all the.
So the
all
one
the
thing
movies.
that Netflix has done right, in as far as
Oh,
movies,
they bought the theater,
They bought
right?
the Paris Theater, renovated it, resumed it, and now they're showing old movies
Old
like
movies,
in 70mm.
right.
So the Blade Runner's coming,
Right.
all that stuff.
That's
Yeah.
great, yeah, because the movie has to be filmed and then 70mm or Cinerama. No, digital is digital.
Yeah, and so at least Netflix is keeping the legacy of
Good.
big, good films alive. And according to the seating chart, when I went to get our seats, packed. It's going to be packed. So many people are going to see Sorcerer. So many people are going to see all sorts of stuff. They're putting up Lawrence of Arabia last week, and just all these beautiful movies that you want to see in this theatrical, beautiful, big screen experience. So Netflix is trying to win people back, I think, with the Paris Theater.
So, I mean, free looking is, it's like a Tulip and I in LA.
Yeah, that's an underrated movie. I love that movie. That's about the counterfeiters and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think he's a good director. Yeah.
Sorcerer is, I think, his best movie.
Best of him?
Overall, yeah.
Oh.
Because every time I watch it, I see something new. I can't believe that it was a box office failure. And the reason it was a box office failure, or part of it, was because it came out the same year as Star Wars. And people wanted Star Wars, and they didn't want a gritty, real-life sort of action-adventure. They wanted space fantasy. So it got buried. But now, thankfully, many years later, it's starting to come out as the masterpiece that it actually is.
Also, it's a remake of Wages of Fear.
Yeah.
So, I try not to compare. I always see as a separate movie.
They're very different movies. I watched Wages of Fear with Liz Shack and my dad, and they're not really structured the same. The reasoning for them to do the run isn't exactly the same. All the characters have different reasons why they want to do it.
Because the original one, there's nothing to do with gang or assassin or whatever.
There's little things about the tough guys in the town in that bar and stuff like that. But once they're on the adventure, it's just them. But the way that they shot, especially that one scene on the bridge in Sorcerer, with the where it's rocking back and forth in the rain, and oh my god,
I don't think that the bridge scene was in the original movie.
No, but they did have a great scene where the trucks have to back up across the. It's not a bridge. It's almost like a landing, a wood landing. And it's so tense. And so I highly recommend both of those movies, Wages of Fear and Sorcerer. But what else did Freakin' do? And later on, he went on to do some interesting movies. He did Bug, Killer Joe. You ever see those?
Killer Joe was the Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey's in it.
And then January Jones.
Yes, is it January Jones? I thought it was Juno Temple.
Oh, Juno Temple.
Juno Temple. And that other guy who I always forget his name, but he's pretty good in all the movies. Then he got canceled. Now he was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so maybe he'll have a career again.
And then I like the Bugs too. And then
Bugs good, yeah.
That was originally it's a play.
A play, yeah. Both of those, Killer Joe and Bug, were plays. Apparently, Freakin' has one more movie that he shot before he passed away, and.
Something court-martial. Kiefer Sutherland.
So they're supposed to be putting that out in the theaters. Guillermo del Toro was sort of
backup director, I hear.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, he was sort of like petitioning, like, "Come on, this is a master. Let's put his last movie."
But it's kind of a different type.
What his new movie?
No, I mean
No, Guillermo del Toro was just saying, in honor of this man's legacy, let's put his last movie into the theaters.
Oh, is that the one? I heard the company was
hired him to finish it?
Yeah, he literally stood by him. Like, literally, physically was there to make sure the movie was finished.
Yeah, because Friedkin was already, weak, or company is worrying about what if he can't finish the movie. So he was a backup director.
That's interesting. You know what's that? I didn't know that. That's cool. That happened also on A Prairie Home Companion with Robert Altman, and they had the backup director was Paul Thomas Anderson, just in case, helping him out.
But why they always pick wrong? I mean, two totally different types.
Who would you pair with Friedkin then?
Not the what's his name?
Not Guillermo del Toro?
Not Guillermo del Toro. No.
Oh.
I would pick.
Don Siegel. No, he's dead.
He's dead. But yeah, don't. Or well, if somebody is alive.
Rennie Harlan.
No, he's too. No, Rennie Harlan.
John McTiernan.
Not quite, but.
Greta Gerwig.
No.
Catherine Bigelow. She would be fucking great.
Maybe, yeah, Catherine Bigelow.
She does that
good.
like down and dirty kind
right.
of freaking yeah.
And then yeah, that she may be a good choice, yeah, but not the Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, because he's gonna put a monster in it. All of a sudden, there's gonna be a ghost flying through and a
right.
Well, no, who knows? I don't know what this movie's about. Anyway, that's The Exorcist.
Okay.
So we did The Exorcist. That was really fun, and I'm going to see it again. It's my retirement party, but we'll see what happens. Maybe in the 70th year I'll come back.
See that, then go see The Believer.
I'll wait for The Believer until streaming. I know that for a fact. I ain't going to the theater for that. I would rather go see, because during Halloween season, a lot of these places like Museum of Moving Image, Film Forum in New York City, all these places put on these revivals of old horror movies. So I want to go see Bride of Frankenstein in the theater, that kind of thing. So no offense to The Believer. I hope it does well. But I'd probably be at the Taylor Swift showing before I would ever go to the
You going to see Taylor Swift the concert
I would
movie?
rather go see Taylor Swift concert movie than the new Exorcist. No offense. I mean, I wish it well. But I'm a Swiftie. A Swifter? What do they call him? Swift. Jonathan Swifts?
Oh.
Anyway, that's The Exorcist. Thank you,
okay.
guys. One more thing from Liz Shack. What you got?
Yes.
Yuki, have you ever seen the interview where Friedkin interviews Fritz Lang?
Oh, good question.
Oh no, I never seen that.
Oh, we'll
I'll
link to
text
that.
it to you.
Yeah, it's a great thing where Fritz Lang.
He's wearing an eye patch,
He's
first
wearing
of
an
all.
eye
Yeah.
patch, and he describes how he had to escape from Nazi Germany.
Right.
But Goebbels, the guy, brought Fritz Lang in because he wanted him to take over the German Nazi film program, like the whole thing. He wanted him to run film for Nazi Germany, and Fritz Lang had to pretend he was into it, like, oh yeah, this is great. And then as soon as he got out, he fucking fled the country. It's a great story.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he didn't take over though, right? Basically.
No, he ran. He escaped
right.
and then escaped to America, and that was it.
That was a good thing. So you know, American movie industry, because he made lots of
he made great
movie
he
in
made
America.
Great movies.
And I think he had to escape that day.
Yeah,
he
that
had
day
a
he
meeting and he
Oh.
was pretending and looking at his watch, being like, my only train I can take is about to leave.
Yeah, it was crazy. So that's a great William Friedkin and Fritz Lang, everybody. All right, well that was the
talk about
buffet.
Fritz Lang sometimes.
Yeah, well, I would love to go through some
Yeah.
Fritz Lang movies with you. All right, well, what do you got to say to the people, Yuki?
Well, go see if people haven't seen original Exorcist, go see it. This one, they come out again. And then if you like it, maybe should try a new one.
Sounds good. Well, thank you
Thank
to
you.
all of our patrons. Thank you to all of our listeners. Catch us on the last drive-in. And your mother sews socks in hell.
Yuki and John, Patreon of birth.